Welcome to our news discussion podcast. I'm Sarah, and joining me is Sean. Today, we'll be covering several significant news stories that have recently unfolded.
Hello, Sarah. I'm Sean. Let's dive into the first story.
Luigi Mangione is set to assert a psychiatric defense in his state murder trial for the killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. According to Judge Gregory Caro, Mangione's lawyers plan to argue that he was suffering from extreme emotional disturbance at the time of the occurrence.
That's a significant development. What does asserting a psychiatric defense typically mean in such cases?
It means Mangione's lawyers will likely admit that he committed the act, but argue that his mental state at the time mitigates his culpability. The defense aims to show that Mangione was not fully in control of his actions due to extreme emotional disturbance.
I see. So this isn't an insanity plea per se, but rather a claim that his emotional state was severely compromised?
Exactly. The distinction is important because an insanity plea typically argues that the defendant didn't understand the nature of their actions, whereas extreme emotional disturbance suggests a loss of control due to emotional turmoil.
That nuance is crucial. How does this defense strategy potentially impact the trial's outcome?
If the jury finds that Mangione was indeed suffering from extreme emotional disturbance, it could lead to a reduced sentence or a different charge, such as manslaughter instead of murder.
Got it. So the next steps will be crucial in determining how this defense plays out in court.
Let's move to another story. Police in Vietnam have seized over 400 cats in a major bust of a cat meat crime ring. This operation came after a spate of pet thefts in Ho Chi Minh City.
Wow, that's disturbing. What do we know about the scale of cat theft and consumption in Vietnam?
According to Humane World for Animals, an estimated 5 million dogs and 1 million cats are stolen, trafficked, or captured for meat in Vietnam. The recent bust is part of a larger effort to combat this issue.
That's staggering. Are there any indications of how this crime ring was operating?
The reports suggest that the cats were being stolen from homes and then sold through various channels to end up in the meat trade. The police operation aimed to disrupt this supply chain.
So this isn't just a matter of stray cats being caught, but also pets being stolen?
Correct. The theft of pets for the meat trade has been a significant concern, with many owners losing their beloved animals to these crime rings.
It's heartbreaking. I hope the authorities continue to crack down on these operations.
Shifting gears, a homeowner in Connecticut recently discovered 3 skeletal human remains inside a house they purchased at a foreclosure auction. The house was bought as is, and the remains were found during the initial inspection.
That's a chilling discovery. What do the authorities say about the circumstances surrounding her remains?
The Connecticut State Police are investigating, but preliminary indications suggest that foul play is not suspected. The exact cause of death and the identities of the individuals are still being determined.
That's quite a relief, I suppose, that foul play isn't suspected, but still, it's a tragic situation. Were there any signs or indications that something was amiss in the house before the discovery?
The reports don't mention any specific signs or warnings. The new owner had purchased the house as is, which means they took on the risk of any potential issues with the property.
Right. So this raises questions about the foreclosure process and whether there should be more thorough inspections or disclosures required.
Exactly. It's a complex issue, balancing the needs of buyers, sellers, and the legal requirements surrounding property sales. Moving on, a Dorset nurse has been struck off the nursing register after telling a cancer patient undergoing chemotherapy that COVID vaccines were responsible for causing her illness.
That's serious. What were the circumstances surrounding this incident?
Penny Senner, the nurse in question, shared anti-vaccination propaganda with the patient. The Nursing and Midwifery Council misconduct hearing upheld 4 of 6 charges against her, leading to her being struck off.
I can understand why that would be a serious breach of professional conduct. Spreading misinformation about vaccines, especially to vulnerable patients, is highly irresponsible.
Absolutely. Nurses are trusted professionals, and providing false or misleading information can have severe consequences for patients' health and well-being.
So, what message does this action send to the medical community?
It reinforces the importance of adhering to evidence-based practice and maintaining professional integrity. Healthcare professionals have a duty to provide accurate and trustworthy information to their patients. It seems we have a story about author profiles on Outlook India. Let's touch on that briefly.
Yes, it appears that several authors, including N.K. Bhupesh, Ashlyn Matthew, Zanara Baksh, and Vikas Patwal, have articles featured on Outlook India. What are your thoughts on this?
It's interesting to see the variety of authors and topics covered on Outlook India. The platform seems to host a range of perspectives and stories.
Indeed. It's always valuable to have diverse voices and viewpoints in the media landscape.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's discussion. Thank you for joining me, Sean, and thank you to our listeners for tuning in.
Thank you, Sarah. It's been a pleasure discussing these stories with you. Until next time, goodbye.
Goodbye.